Hello folks, Steve Bussey here from the Steve Bussey Radio Experience. Heard occasionally on Blog Talk Radio, seen on Facebook and Twitter. Coming to you from sunny East Central Florida with today's political shot from the right. Now I'm going to catch hell for this shot from the right today from different groups. I'm going to be called a racist and all these other pejoratives, which is okay because as a white male Christian conservative, I'm already called all those names. So all you people that are going to call me that, you know, I don't give a rat's about it. You call me that anyway, you lie. So let's just get into it. The other day I was in a Facebook back and forth with a friend of a friend, and it's something I've vowed never to do again. I did it anyway, broke my rule. But this guy claimed to be a Buddhist. He appeared to be young from his photograph, some minority, and he made the claim that he's being kept down. They're being kept down by white male Christians in America. And that's just such a load of crap. It's insane. This guy, the African Americans, black Americans that are rioting or were rioting in Baltimore and Ferguson and elsewhere around the country, these folks never lived under or experienced real racism. Now, first of all, my politically correct disclaimer, I understand there's racism in America. I get it. The fact is, as long as men and women exist, as long as people exist on this earth, there's going to be racism. I've experienced racism as a white guy. I was refereeing youth basketball in an inner city gymnasium in an urban area, and I was the only white guy to be seen anywhere. And I heard the comments from the parents, this white boy don't know basketball. Why is this white boy refereeing? He don't know basketball. And I got all kinds of little comments like that, you know. That's not a foul, ref. That's how a brother plays basketball. So, you know, I've experienced it. I've experienced it in other ways. There is racism. What there isn't anymore, what these modern young black Americans haven't lived under, is systemic, institutionalized racism. Just in my lifetime, we've had decades of social welfare programs that have predominantly benefited the black community in America. We've had generations now of affirmative action. We've had generations of lawsuits and civil rights investigations. Now, I know black poverty, I got some statistics here. I know there's systemic, deeply rooted poverty in the black community in America. And some of that does go back to the Jim Crow era, where parents were not able to make a lot of money and have savings accounts and save up a lot of wealth. And separate but equal schools were anything but equal. I get it. I know it. But now we're generations removed from that. A lot of these young black men and women that are rioting or were rioting have never had to avert their eyes when passing a white woman on the sidewalk. Have never had to worry about the KKK coming in and lynching them, dragging them out of their houses. They haven't had to worry about 12 white men on a jury convicting them of a crime they didn't commit. They haven't had to worry about a sheriff, a police chief, a judge, politicians being members of the KKK and conspiring against them. It may happen here and there in some smaller communities, but certainly not in Boston, that has been run by Democrats since the 60s. Or excuse me, Baltimore, with a black female mayor and a black female state attorney under the days of a first black president and first black first lady and black attorneys general. Times have changed, but by listening to the debate, you wouldn't think they have changed at all, that we're still living under Jim Crow. We've had trillions of dollars of transfer payments from wealthy and middle class Americans into urban poverty zones. And I've just got a couple of stats here, and this is from a black economic website. Even though back in 2008 blacks made up 12% of the population, they accounted for 1/3, 33% of food stamps. Now, I understand all the reasons for that, don't get me wrong. And white Americans, even though they accounted for 77.7% of all Americans, only accounted for 31% of food stamp rolls. Now, I'm not getting into the whys and wherefores. If you want to, we can talk about how, since LBJ's war on poverty, over 70% of black children are born to single-parent homes. Single-parent homes lead to poverty, and then poverty leads to crime under a certain percentage of those folks. Not all the time, of course. There is exceptions to every rule. But anyway, I'm not complaining about the wealth transfer. I'll do that another day. What I'm saying is, how are white male Christians keeping the black man down when we've transferred trillions of dollars of wealth into the black community? Now that's just one program, food stamps. And we've had affirmative action, and we've done away with Jim Crow. We've changed our laws. We've changed our society. It's no longer a big deal when you see a black man and a white woman get married or walk down the street. You know, maybe in some places in the backwoods in West Virginia or Alabama. But in the main, it's not a big deal. So, guys like the gentleman, I use that term loosely, that I debated on Facebook the other day, who claim they're being kept down by white male Christians. They're making excuses, they're lying, making excuses for their own failures in life. And I'm sick and tired of it, and we need to start calling it out. The next shot from the right today I want to address real quick. Jeb Bush. He gave an interview with Megyn Kelly on the Kelly File. I think it was last night. And Fox News website printed up some of the things today. A couple of comments Jeb Bush made. A practical solution of getting to fixing the legal system is also a path for legalized status, not necessarily citizenship, he said, talking about illegal immigrants. What are we supposed to do? Marginalize these people forever? Bush asked. Folks, words matter, and the way you use words matter. Let's get into the word responsibility. Who was that children's television guy? I can't remember his name right now, it escapes me. Mr. Rogers. Can you say responsibility? Sure you can. Come on, I'll say it with you. Responsibility. We're not marginalizing illegal aliens, the children of illegal aliens, or anything of the sort. They are marginalizing themselves. They marginalized themselves when they decided to cross our border illegally, against the law. Their first act in America was to break our law, to violate our sovereignty, to disrespect you and me. We are not marginalizing them. We are not making them live in the shadows. If they want to unmarginalize themselves, if they want to come out of the shadows, all they got to do is carry their asses back home. That's it. I don't care if they were fleeing poverty or poor government. I don't care. The ends does not justify the means. So Jeb Bush, presumptive GOP presidential candidate, you're wrong. And you're insulting millions and millions of Americans. When you ask a question like this, what are we supposed to do? Marginalize these people forever? We're not marginalizing them. They marginalize themselves. Grow the hell up, Jeb Bush. Get your head out of your butt and stop insulting millions upon millions of Americans. Folks, this is Steve Bussey Radio Experience, heard occasionally on Blog Talk Radio, with today's political shots from the right. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.